Hi, welcome to Crafted Sweetly. I'm Diana. Thanks so much for being here. In this video, I wanted to show you my updated list of favorite tools for book folding and photo book art. I'll go through the list of the items that I love using, and I won't go into too much detail with every single one of them because I've already done videos specific to each tool. So what I'll do is I'm going to link the video in the description box along with like links to purchase them if you're interested. But I'll list the videos in the description box. That way you can, if you're interested in a particular one, you can look at it in depth just for that video. So I won't make this video 5 hours long. So I'll start off with photobookart.com. Very easy to use. You click on the upload design, and then you have to enter the number of pages. So let's say it'll be 390 pages. Book height has to be in inches as noted right here. So if you have measured it in centimeters, use Google to convert the centimeters to inches. For example, 23 centimeters is 9.055 inches. So I'll use that. I am confirming that I have the right to use the photo. I will upload the file. Drop this one in here, which is a lion. I'll enlarge it right here. You can see it's a lion that I've created. It's a JPEG file. Whoops. And then I want to do it as an ink saver. You can create it just a regular pattern without the ink saver. If you're not quite sure what the difference is, I do have a video for that as well. And then you click on generate PDF file. It may take a minute to spin, and then you enter your name, email, proceed to checkout. It's $1.99 for the pattern. A subscription is coming up. Working on it still. I know it's been in the works for a while, but hopefully soon. At the moment, it's $1.99 per pattern. You enter your payment information, and then once you click on the download button, which is the white banner, you will get the pattern, and this is the ink saver format, and there is the pattern. So that's it for the Photo Book Art app. It literally takes 30 seconds. Number 2 is my 180 guide. So this one has 2 lines in it, and it does have a lip here that right there, not sure you can see it, that hooks onto the page. So it makes it easy because it's hooked onto the page. You can mark the lines, score the lines on this particular one in 5 different places. So 1 would be against this slat, 2 would be against that one, 3, 4, and then 5. So that's 5 lines that you can create using this guide. So this makes it as my number 2 tool. Then I've created one that's wider. So this is the same concept as this, but it has more lines than that. So this can go even farther into the book as far as creating score lines. Maybe you want a 180 score line that's farther in, and then you mark it right there. But this one will give you 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 score lines that are possible to create here. Same thing, this has a little lip right there on it so that it hooks onto the page. Now I've had questions about how do you when you get closer to the end of the book, it's hard to do it because the lip is as tiny as possible here and still be able to hook it on the page. But then as you get farther in, it makes it, like towards the bottom, it makes it a little harder. So one viewer a while ago suggested do the back. Oh, I don't know where this came from. Okay, get that cord out of the way. Is do the book upside down. So you can score like 20 pages this way and then go back to here, and then when you get towards the end, those pages will already have been scored. So that's the way to kind of get around to scoring the last pages. I used to use tiles that I would put underneath here to be able to do that, and I still do that with the Incra ruler. But now that I've kind of gone away from book folded, like cut and fold types of patterns, and using graph patterns to create those instead of like a table format, I don't use the Incra ruler as much. But again, this lip is, you know, excellent to be able to get an even score line with everything. So that is another guide. I have several different guides actually. I've come up with a diagonal guide, and for that I'll show you a book that I did using a diagonal guide, which is right here. So this gives it kind of the angled look to it right there, okay, where it's farther in the book and everything is folded at a diagonal, as you see here. And with this I used the diagonal guide that I would mark the pages and create, you know, have even lines for the diagonal. So, you know, if you're scoring against this line, then you always have the same score line to do the diagonal on. And with this you can create 5 different lines. This one, it doesn't, you know, in here, if you use a smaller book, then you can certainly use this line in here. But with most like 23 centimeter books, this inside line would be too short to come all the way to the top of it. So it's really meant for the 2 lines this way here and then 1 here that you can create diagonal lines. And depending on where you hold this, your diagonal line may look different than kind of in the middle or here. So you do want to make sure that you have your ruler in the same position each time. And this also has that 90-degree lip there that hooks onto the page. Okay, that's that one. And then my latest guide is the slider guide that helps with creating even cuts. So with this, again, all videos, in-depth videos for each of these is in the description box. And for this one, you put the page on top of the slider like this, and then put the slider guide across, and then you move the slider guide, and then you're basically scoring along here. I don't have my scoring guide here, but you would basically, if this was a scoring guide here, you would score right along here. So when you're cutting, you know, you'd have your measurements on the page, and then this moves whatever it is so that you can score and then have a straight line to cut along. Some people use the text as guides, but if you're having trouble with that, this will definitely help. And then you also have different depths here so that you cut to the same depth. One person suggested, you know, like putting a mark on the place for your depth so that you don't have to keep counting each time. So that's a really helpful tip to do that with the guide. But this is an excellent tool if you're having trouble cutting straight once you're for the cut and folds. So those are the guides. A couple of other things for this before I get into the bigger tools. I use this type of tape glue runner. I love this tape glue runner. The reason that I like it a lot is that the inside or the tape itself is replaceable. So this comes out and then you just replace this part instead of having to throw out the whole thing, and then you just pop it back closed. So easy to take out once it's empty. I'll show you one that I have empty. You can buy refills for it. It looks like this. And then now this one I don't have a video on just for this but this is empty. It got to the blue end, so this is the only part that you're throwing out. The casing you keep, and then I just pop in a new refill, and I'm ready to go. So I buy these by the 8-pack. I think they come in an 8-pack, and I have a link below for this as well. But these are my go-to tape runners. I usually have a, I bought initially a bunch of these, and then I just keep using them. When I run out, I refill the entire batch of them. And then lastly, on the smaller tools are these scissors. I like that they're fine tipped. They're small, easy to handle. I don't use the spring kind. I know some people love that they're more ergonomic or something, and that may work if you're having trouble kind of squeezing, because it kind of does release on its own. I like these. I like that they're fine tipped. As you can see right there, super fine tip on it, so it just makes it easy to cut on my line. So I do like these scissors, and they're small. I like that too. All right, so that's some of those tools. Now, book folding stand. I love my book folding stand right here. Okay, so this has 2 sets of arms. You can buy it with just the 1 set. There is the option to add a 2nd set of arms. For the first set of arms, I have on the bottom here clothespin that holds the rod, so you can take this rod out. If you're not working on stuff, you can remove one of the rods, and then this folds down. So assuming if you don't have the 2nd set of arms, this stores right here, and then you know where your rod always is. And then this you can take off if you have a 2nd set of arms. And then it does store very compact because these arms fold down. So I have either the stand. So I did create your own if you choose. I did create the DIY instructions if you choose to, and that link is below in the description box. So this is the book folding stand. You can get it either stained or natural, meaning it's not going to be brown, it's just going to be natural wood like this. So that is one option. Okay, so that's the book folding stand. My next favorites are the Cutterpillar products. I have the Cutterpillar Pro, which again I have a full video on the benefits of using this paper cutter. I've had this for 2 years. Blade cuts just the same as it did on the first day 1. You can't cut yourself. There's no way to trim your finger off. Best invention ever is this light right there. You can kind of see the light. So when you're using a photo strip pattern and you set down the photo strips like this, when you set down the strips, see right there's the light, it's easy to see because my patterns create this line across the whole pattern. You can certainly use a ruler and an X-Acto knife to cut it, if you're don't have a pro. But with this is once you have this line, it's easy to just line it up against the edge because you see with the aid of the light below it that you're right along that line right there. And then same to take off the top border and the bottom for the strips. Okay, so I absolutely love the Cutterpillar. Now the Pro is obviously the Pro version. The bigger it has, the 12-inch baseboard here. It has a drawer to store your stuff in, and here's my storing guide, but it does have a nice drawer down here that you can store stuff in if you need it. So this is what the back side of it looks like. You've got the batteries in here, and it does have the measurements across the top if you need them for anything. So if you don't have the money for this, and I have a coupon code if you choose to get the Cutterpillar products. It's SWEET15. You'll get 15% off your purchases. So you can certainly use that to save some money. Next, actually before I get to this one, if you're not getting the Pro, the next best thing that you can get is the Crop. This is still a 12-inch working area here. I take that back. This is 17 inches. I just realized that. I don't usually have this open, so because if I need something bigger, I use this. But this actually has 17 inches right there. The arm stretches out to 18 inches. So for bigger projects, this may work better. You know, obviously not for book folding, you wouldn't need it, but this does stretch out to 18 inches. It does not have a drawer. Still the battery is here, so you still get the benefits of the light, which I love. I do tend to reach for this now more because it's just, it works the same way. I'm usually, you know, one page, and it doesn't matter if I'm slightly off. I'm not really doing anything in this area. So Cutterpillar Crop is your next best thing if you can't get the Pro. And again, they work equally well. I love both of them. And then the other Cutterpillar product would be the Cutterpillar Crease. I love the scoreboard. Not just for book folding, but for other scrapbooking, for cards. If you do that, it's a great thing, and the coupon code that I gave you will apply to all their products. It does have an embossing tool here, and if you're looking to score these strips, I did a video clearly explaining what the process is to score the strips if you need to. Not everyone scores the strips. It's not necessary to score the strips, but if you're having trouble folding right down the middle, then a scoreboard will be very helpful. So I want to clarify that. You know, most people probably don't use a scoreboard to score their strips. You have to cut the strips and fold them in half, and then either finger press them or use a bone folder or card or something to press them flat. Different effects for each one and different results with your books. But if you find that you have a hard time folding down the middle, then using this Cutterpillar Crease is amazing. It does have this raised portion of the scoreboard, so where you think of most scoreboards that you have, I'll just do a quick demo showing you this part. Most scoreboards, you know, you're kind of following this, and then you have your score lines wherever you're scoring to create the designs. Okay, now I did some here too, but I don't know if you can see it right there. So I did the score lines. Now the difference with this, and I've never seen another crease or scoring board do this, is they have, what did I just do with it? Oh, here it is. They have this attachment that makes it possible for you to, this goes in right there. Oops, I'm upside down, no problem. Okay, so this attachment makes it possible where you can do a reverse score. So instead of having what's called a valley, which is right there, you kind of fold it in and it's a valley for the fold. It's the opposite way, and which is what you would want to use for a thicker cardstock, which is this. And I have a video using this crease. You'll be amazed. Watch that video. You'll be amazed at the things you can actually score with it. And with this, you use the other end of the scoring guide, of the embossing tool, because this has kind of like a trench in here. It has a little, it's indentation in it. So once you put this here, you follow the track. It's almost like train tracks. Here's your train track, and then this is the wheel from the train. And when you go across, it creates the mountain on here. And this is definitely something that you would recommend when you use thicker cardstocks versus in here as far as scoring them. So that's in one direction, and then you want to make sure, you know, you're against here, but you're going down the track and scoring the rest of it. So for book folding, you would be using this attachment, which is just amazing. I mean, I swear, it's like sliced bread. Excellent, excellent thing. I absolutely love it. And then you get a nice fold. So that's how you would use for the strips. You would put the strip down, and I actually use this in conjunction with the glow board. So I switched out to show you. I actually use the scoring. If I'm scoring the strips, I use the scoring, the crease, the Caterpillar crease, in conjunction with the Caterpillar glow. So that's your light board right there. It's gonna get super dark. And then I put this down, and you can actually see this. It's a little harder to see on camera, but this is a metal piece right here. And then when I put this on, then it's easy to see that I'm right down the middle, and then I use this to score right in the middle. Again, check out the video if you want the full details on how to do this. But yes, the Caterpillar Glow works in conjunction with this. So that's my, you know, if you need to score, this is definitely the way to do it. And then I like that everything kind of tucks away and is nicely stored in here. Oops. In a little compartment. And then this does have little rubber feet here, so it doesn't move on your glow board. So with these, all the tools that I listed are the ones that are my go-to when I'm working on any photo book art or book folding project. I hope this video kind of helps with just a list basically of the items that I prefer using. Sometimes it helps to see what other people are using, and you may discover some may work for you, some may not. That's why it's best to kind of see which of the things works for you as far as creating the best finished product as you can. If you have any questions about any of them, please let me know. Oops, turn that on. I love like blinding brightness right there. You have 3 different settings. But yeah, if you have any questions, comment below. Happy to help answer any questions. Please join my Facebook group and post your questions there as well, and post your projects. Would love to see what you create. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next project, and happy crafting.